welcome to a new episode of Blogger News. My name is Brenda Lucier's Clark, and this week's episode we got blogger artist Yerko Zlatar. But let's first think outside the block. Well, I got some international news that I decided to highlight and bring all the way to you. Yes, and my top three are, let's just start with the activist Mwazulu Diyabansa. He tried to take back an artifact from the Louvre Museum. Let's check out some images. Congolese activist Mwazulu Diyabansa went to court after being arrested for attempting to take an artifact from the Louvre in Paris. The art newspapers reports that the incident took place on October 22, and a video posted to Twitter shows Diyabansa in the museum saying, "I came here to take back what was stolen and plundered from us, to take back what was pillaged from Africa." Diyabansa was released from his hearing and a trial has been scheduled for December 3. The judge said the complexity of the case accounted for the trial's delay. A representative for the Louvre told artnews.com that the object involved in the incident was an 18th century sculpture from Flores, an island off the coast of Indonesia that was once a colony of Portugal. Monsieur de Louvre teams intervened immediately and avoided the theft and any damage to the sculpture, the representative said. Okay, if I was the activist, kind of like it was a statement, the way how he wants to pull that out, but still is not the smartest way to do it. That's my personal opinion. There are other ways to take back what's yours, and not precisely in that matter, but it depends on what was the type of approach that he wanted to create as an activist. I think that the trial and all that is part of what he wants to show. And want to know and sneak peek into Cheech. Yes, Cheech Marin from Cheech and Chong. Do you remember that series back in the 70s?
He just ate the most acid I've ever seen anybody eat in my life.
Cheech and Chong? Of course you do. Well, want to check out his collection in L. Here you have it. Marin, who has been appeared on the top 200 collectors list since 2017, gives a look at some of the cornerstones of his collection, which focuses on Chicano art and which he has been built for the past 40 years. His holdings include major works by artists such as Carlos Almaraz, Gronk, a founding member of ASCO, brothers Jamex and Einar de la Torre, George Yepes, Chas Bojorquez, and more. His collection will form the basis of the Cheech Marin Center for Chicano Art, Culture and Industry in Riverside, California, go Cali, which is scheduled to open in 2021. He said that the motivations for establishing the space came out of a realization as his collection traveled the country in the form of an exhibition that at each stop the collection became more and more the community's than his own. And I gotta tell something, I love the following quote, I'm going to quote him. "You don't get a straight line narrative of Chicano art. It represents the sabor, the flavor of the community. When you put all these parts together, the 360 gives you a whole picture of that community." Ooh, yes.
The museum curator, when they were trying to get a show there, well, Chicanos don't make fine art. They make agitprop folk art. Okay, well, I don't think so. Because I knew what great art was and what it was, because they weren't given the credit for. You can't possibly be meaning to do what you're doing. Okay, I've heard this tune before, So I started collecting their art. I'm at the point right now, after having collected it for a good many years.
Latino power. This week's special guest, we got Yerko Zlatar, Peruvian multidisciplinary artist, graduated from one of our art schools here in Lima, Peru, Corriente Alterna. He englobes different techniques and art fields such as painting, murals, collage, digital collage, and art direction for movies, amongst others. And his graphic art features towards the use of images to create compositions using his own language, influenced by the collage, abstract painting, Dadaism, Bauhaus, improv, antique, pre-Columbian, yes, you heard me well, cultures, and experimental music. He was part of our latest exhibition an artsy platform called Ancient or Ancestral, and you can discover more about the different available pieces that we have on Artsy. So let's discover more about his world.
Hola, soy Yerko Zlatar, artista plástico, vivo y trabajo en Lima y voy a hablarles un poco de mi trabajo para esta última exposición que se llama Ancestral, organizada por BLOC Art. Estoy presentando dos trabajos que se llaman Waka 1 y Waka 2. Bueno, la mayor parte de mi trabajo está siempre relacionado a dos temas, a la arquitectura y a las culturas precolombinas. Y ese trabajo habla un poco de procesos de manufactura, de procesos de diseño. Básicamente son dos piezas textiles que están concebidas de una manera digital, digamos. Han sido trabajadas en computadora. Son imágenes de estructuras de huacas. Las huacas son antiguos templos pre-incas que están por toda la costa del Perú. Y lo que yo hice fue coger estas imágenes, estas fotografías y reinterpretarlas, dibujándolas, usando técnicas como Illustrator o Photoshop para sintetizar estas estructuras y generar composiciones abstractas y geométricas, ¿no? Luego esto entra a una segunda etapa. Estas composiciones pasan a un taller textil manejado por la familia Pauker. Ellos tienen una técnica propia que han desarrollado, que le dicen la técnica del vellón, con la que ellos crean estos tapices gigantes y pueden representar paisajes, retratos, casi pintura. Lo que me parece interesante de todo este proceso es justamente este diálogo entre la arquitectura, entre el dibujo arquitectónico y la manufactura artesanal.
Thank you very much, Yerko, for sharing about your artwork. And also, I gotta tell you, the first time that I got the chance to just be impressed by his digital artwork, well, it got me just hypnotized. Well, again, if you want to take a look to what's available for purchase and if you want to be enchanted, just go and visit on Artsy platform. Now, returning to international and my last from the top 3 international news, well, we got about the museums and institutions in the US selling art. Deaccessioning is defined as the process by which a work of art or other object is permanently removed from a museum's collection. Okay, so what's been going on in the US? A lot of museums and institutions have been selling art. Why? How? Well, I just said that, right? Deaccessioning. Is this, do you consider as a no-no or a go-go? Considering the situation. Let's take a look to some images. Amid economic fallout resulting from the pandemic, many institutions are selling works from their holdings in order to raise capital for collection care. The practice, known as deaccessioning, has been undertaken in recent weeks by the Brooklyn Museum of Art, the Everson Museum of Art in Syracuse, New York, Newfields in Indianapolis, and mostly notably the Baltimore Museum of Art, whose controversial plan to sell $65 million in art have become the subject of national news, well, US. There are no official laws guiding the accessions in the United States, but most museum officials adhere to guidelines set in place by industry groups like the Association of Art Museum Directors, which has recently relaxed its rules in order to alleviate the economic strain of the pandemic on institutions, according to the Art News. Drop your comment. What do you think about this? Something that I would like to add, and I'm going to share the link of this news because you have like a time lapse and how within time there has been different disagreements from the people and specifically in the ecosystem to this new actions. Going to the last 10 years, well, is selling to diversify and preserve. There are still cases of plain old deaccessions without many frills. MoMA sold a 9-foot long legger in 2017 for $6 million at Art Basel, and the city of Denver sold $114 million in Clifford Still paintings to support a museum devoted in the artist in Colorado in 2011. But selling art from museum collections still sometimes arouses suspicion and controversy. Don't you think so? Well guys, I really hope that you enjoyed this week's episode. And remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, ring the bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming episodes. And what else? Well, keep safe, be a skeptic, question everything, and think outside the block.